Thank you.
Chair Haas and members of the committee, my name is Daniel Fuller. I'm a freshman at McNary, and I'm here today because my father, Dale Fuller, is a lobbyist here, and this is a great way for me to get out of school. I'm also here to ask you to support Senate Bill 602. School is where we learn about our past to help us prepare for the future, and I've learned a lot about world history, specifically World War II and Adolf Hitler, and a lot of American history. We've had no Oregon history except for 4th grade, which wasn't very much. There's a lot about Oregon history which we can be proud of. We live in a great state, and we have a lot to learn about. High school graduates in Oregon should know our state motto used to be the Union. They should know that the initiative petitions to change the law was an idea and tried in Oregon. And they should know that the Oregon's past, future, and present depends on the beautiful state and how we are taught in our heritage. And that it also depends on using and protecting our natural resources. Oregon history from Lewis and Clark to the Bottle Bill is important, and I think that's why we should have more teaching.
Thank you.
Oh, just kidding. I'm sorry. I have more. Sorry about that. We put together a survey of Oregon history questions and gave them to some students at McNary, and Dakota and I will share some of the results for that. 71% of those surveyed correctly identified 1859 as the year Oregon became a state. However, only 45% knew that Dr. John McLaughlin is known as the father of Oregon. Mark Hatfield, Jason Lee, and Thomas Jefferson all pulled very strongly in this question. 71% of the students were aware that Oregon sided with the Union in the Civil War, which is why Oregon's original state motto was the Union. 61% also correctly identified Oregon City as the capital of Oregon prior to Salem. The survey asked students to identify how many of the following was Oregon first at: the initiative and referendum, a return deposit on bottles, vote by mail elections, and doctor-assisted suicide. Of course, you all know that Oregon was the first of all four. However, only 19% of the students marked initiative and referendum. Only 45% chose bottle return and doctor-assisted suicide. And only 39% knew Oregon was the first vote by mail state.
Chairman Haas, members of the committee, my name is Dakota Saunders, and I am a senior from McNary High School. I'm here to support Senate Bill 602, and unlike my good friend Daniel Fuller, I find this very interesting. To me, I was taught the basics of Oregon history, and even though I did learn some, politics has always been a favorite of mine, and when learning about Oregon history, I would like to know who represented us, both here at the state level and on the national level. Who represented us in the legislatures, who ran the legislatures. For certain people like Senator Hatfield, who served for over 30 years in the U.S. Senate, Dr. Kitzhaber, who has served 8 years as governor and serving a third term, and also former Governor Roberts, who to date and is our only first female governor. And like Daniel here, we've also conducted a survey, and only 6% of students at our school realized that former Senator Charles McNary was the 1940 vice presidential nominee. Bear in mind that we do go to a school named after the senator. Only 26% of students could identify one former governor of Oregon. Former Governor Kulongowski and Governor Kitzhaber were the only two that were mentioned. And I find this kind of awkward that no one at our school knew who Governor Roberts was. I was the only one in my class that did. So, 1/3 of the students knew that Oregon had 36 counties, and almost 1/3 of students, again, knew that we had 5 seats in the House of Representatives. So, Chairman Haas, I'd like to thank you for allowing us to have this opportunity.
Now, if we would have asked them who won American Idol last week.
That could have worked, sir.
But your point is well taken. Appreciate your testimony.
Thank you, sir.
Speaker Lang, thank you. Thank you. Questions or comments?
If any of you are interested in just browsing this book, I'll leave it with you and then collect it from your administrative assistant later.
That was your history book in 8th grade?
Right.
Wow.
It's sort of interesting.
Now there's more history since it might be twice as thick now.
It probably wouldn't be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's go to Andrea Morgan from the department. She can talk about how this will